Yeah. Suzanne Summers goes live all the time. They have trouble sometimes, and it's so funny. Okay, I see us.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Huh?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, we tried to start 8 minutes ago or whatever it was, 9 minutes ago, and I don't know if it's because I got a new phone, Facebook updated stuff, who knows, but now we're here. Okay, so we're Bill and Kate Hafer with the Hafer Group of Southern Classic Realtors. We have our very first guest, Shelly, joining us from First Preference Mortgage. She's a loan officer, and I just got through asking her, you know, how this week has been, but real quick, first, you can reach Shelly at 404-386-6464, and her email address is smith@first.pref.com. Okay?
One
All right.
pref or one ST?
What?
What's the email address?
One ST.
Yeah.
PREF.com.
I didn't hear the ST part.
Escrow's going to watch us, and yeah, so how has this week been? You said it's been different.
This week has been great. It's been very, very busy, so that's a good thing. People are starting to settle in. We've gone back to school, so people are kind of settled down from their summer, and they're kind of getting comfortable with the rates. It's been a good week.
Wow, well that's good.
How about you guys? Are you busy?
Yeah, we're busy. We're busy solving problems and trying to get another listing up and running here. We've had a little bit of mishaps with that, but we're getting there. Right, Bill?
Yeah, and we've had one that there was a lot of challenges with the roof. We've talked about it the last couple of weeks, but the roof went up yesterday.
Well, that's good.
So, and as did the termite inspection, which was perfectly clear. So,
Good.
it's full steam ahead. We're getting delayed by a couple of days on the close, only because things got started a little bit late. But it's all moving forward.
Yeah, I saw this for next Thursday. So, all right. Well, if it's okay, we'll just jump right into the questions.
Let's do it.
How's that sound? All right. James from Sonoya wants to know, where are interest rates headed? Because I've heard a couple different things that are going on.
Well, there are a couple different things going on. Interest rates, that's a crystal ball question. They are predicted to go up to about the 7%. So right now we're in the mid-6s. So that's kind of where we are. But it depends on your loan type and a lot of other situations.
Last year, this time it was what, 3?
2.5 to 3.
2.5 to 3.
Mhm.
So
when everybody got scared when they jumped to 4.5,
now I wish it was back to 4.5 again.
I know.
Oh boy, I bet they're kicking themselves.
It's been a little bit of a yo-yo.
It has been. It's been a lot of yo-yo.
A yo-yo.
No, it hasn't really been a yo. It's just been up.
Well, it bounced back down for a little while.
It hurt like a day or a week or something, just for a minute.
Oh my gosh. Well, all right. Well, Tammy from Noonan is asking, should I buy now or should I wait for interest rates to go down?
I have heard this question about 5 or 6 times this week alone. You should definitely buy now because interest rates are probably going to go up. I don't think we'll ever see them in the 2s again. However, if they do drop, you can always refinance. What's going to happen with your house prices, though, those are going to go up. So if the house price goes up, if you can buy the same house today at $200,000, but you wait a year hoping that those interest rates drop, what if it's $250 next year?
Interesting.
Yes, so if rates do go back down, you can just refinance.
That's true.
This is true.
That is very, very true.
And it is still a seller's market because of the volume of homes that are still out there. So while I don't see home prices increasing at the rate they've been for the last 2 years, in fact I see it being stagnant here for a little while.
I agree.
They are ultimately going to go up eventually again.
Yeah, they're going to stabilize. And what makes this different than 2008 is while people were buying houses, for $40,000 more than their value, we were still lending on the appraised value. So that was cash that they came out with. So the value of the home stayed the same. The value didn't change. They just paid more for it. Now, if you get a whole neighborhood of 10 of them paying $50,000 more, then yes, that will increase the value. But they're going to stabilize. We're not going to see what we did over the summer.
Wow.
And it's fun.
Oh gosh. All right. Frida from Sharpsburg says, how is my rate determined?
Frida, that is a great question because a lot of people don't know this. They think it's one flat rate across the board. It depends on your loan type, FHA, VA, conventional, USDA. It depends on how much money you're putting down. It depends on your credit score. And when I say money, that's your loan to value. Mm-hmm. And it depends on your credit score. And it depends on, that's about it. Credit score.
Or you can buy your points down too, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. How do you buy down points?
That's a discount or an origination fee. So if we quoted, say 6.5 for a loan, and you're like, well, I really want it to be 6.25, then you can bring 1% origination, which is 1% of your loan amount, to closing, and we can buy that rate down to 6.25. And by the way, loan officers do not get paid on the rate or the points.
Do a lot of people buy down points?
Yeah, it's pretty standard to charge 1% origination in Georgia. Now, when they were at 2.5, we didn't.
Okay.
Because you didn't need to, unless somebody just really wanted that. And a lot of times, your first-time home buyers, they won't have that extra money to add to bring to closing. So sometimes we'll do just the opposite. Instead of 6.5, we will give them a lender credit, so we'll give them a discount point back, so that they have more money to give towards closing costs.
Okay. And you bought down points, right, when we refinanced?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did.
I remember you talking about that. All right.
I
Sam?
didn't buy at the bottom.
Huh?
So I didn't buy at the bottom, but I got us pretty close to the bottom by buying it down.
Sam from Tyrone wants to know, what's the difference between a primary residence second home and an investment property, such as what are the rates, down payments, type of loans that I can get?
Well, with a government loan, which we consider USDA, VA, and FHA, you have to buy a primary residence. That's the house that you live in. That's your home. A second home is maybe a home that's next to a lake or a beach or a mountain. It has to make sense that it's a second home. You can't have a primary residence in Peachtree City and buy a second home in Sharpsburg.
Okay.
Because it's not, I mean, you're not going to vacation there. It's a vacation home. An investment property is something that you're going to rent out. The example I just said, that house in Sharpsburg would be an investment property.
Right.
Now, you can have a primary residence, FHA, VA, USDA, and go purchase another home and keep that if you qualify for both mortgages. And that can be your primary residence if it makes sense. So if your family grows or if you're downsizing, then that would make sense to change houses.
Okay. And then make what used to be the primary now a rental.
Yes, and that rate doesn't change because you're locked in when you close.
Okay.
As far as rates go, right now, because of last year when they were trying to slow the market down, second home and investment properties, their rates were a whole lot higher. It also depends on your property type. That's the other thing for the rate. If it's a single family dwelling, a townhome, or a condo. So it's layers of risk.
Interesting. All right.
So our second homes and investment properties roughly the same rates, or they,
Right now they're pretty close. A year ago,
and are
the
they
second
still,
home was kind of close to purchase, but they've changed that.
So are they? Is it still kind of inflated because they're trying to prevent the inflation that's going on?
There's not enough homes out there for people to buy.
Yeah.
So they're wanting people to be able to purchase a home for their primary residence instead of being bought out by everybody else. So that's why they're doing that. But usually your investors are paying cash anyway.
Wow. All right. Greg from Peachtree City says, how long do you have to own your primary residence before you can turn it into an investment home without penalty? That's a good question, Greg.
Is that a tax question?
I don't know. How long
No,
do you have to own your primary residence before you can turn it into an investment home without penalty?
Because I'm not licensed.
I don't
Tax
know.
accountant. You
No,
cannot
I
answer that question.
think the question's related to, do you have to hold your home as you talked about being able to switch it from a primary residence to a
Okay, it
investment
depends
property.
on the loan type. It's about 12 months, unless there is a significant reason for you to change. You know, you just found out you're pregnant with triplets, and your 2-bedroom house isn't going to work anymore.
Okay.
Or you just all of a
Pregnant
sudden.
with triplets. Ooh.
I can't think of anything. Or it has to make sense to an underwriter. It has to be logical. You can't just say, "Oh, I bought this house 6 months ago and I decided I don't like the color of the front door, so I'm going to move." That would not make sense.
And some people think that way.
They try.
You know? Wow, okay. Well, hopefully that answered your question for you, Greg. All right. Well, Kelly from Brooks wants to know, can I use my VA loan for an investment property, and who is responsible for the closing costs?
No, you cannot use it because it's a government loan. It has to be a primary residence. The closing cost technically are the buyer's closing costs. There is 1 or 2 fees with a VA that the seller actually does have to pay, but it's very minimal. Technically, the buyer is responsible. However, a lot of times sellers, well, not this past 2 years, but before that, sellers would pay closing costs. And we're starting to see that, or I'm starting to see that a little bit more, that the sellers are starting to come.
So you don't think we'll ever see another market the way it has been the past couple of years, huh?
I don't have that crystal ball. I sure would love to.
I would too.
Although it was hard. It was hard because you had so many people get disappointed because they didn't get the house they want and they couldn't find a home.
Boy,
And
that's
then it
true.
started a frenzy, and then it started a frenzy with everybody wanting everything done even quicker, and it actually, that part of it made my job really hard because loan officers were trying to compete and get a house closed in 15 days, and that's just not logical.
Wow. So what is logical? What is the normal?
30.
30?
Yeah, 21 to 30.
Okay.
If everybody's cooperating.
Ah. What's the longest closing that you've ever experienced?
Well, it'd be new construction.
Okay.
Because, you know, they go under contract before it was condos. So, I mean, that was maybe 6 months.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, new construction's always takes longer.
All right. All right. Now, Allison from Atlanta says, my student loans are in deferment, and since I don't have a payment, is that debt counted against me when I'm trying to buy a home?
It is, and that's a great question because recently with the deferments that everybody was getting, it started showing up on the credit report as a 0 payment. Now, Fannie, Freddie, and even FHA, they require some sort of payment to be on there. So if your credit report is showing a 0 payment, then we have to count 1% of the outstanding balance of all your student loans. Now, where this has actually hurt us since COVID and they've deferred everything is a lot of times you'll get income payments, you know, income adjusted payments, and those will be less than that 1%. If it's on the credit report, then we can use it. So you owe $100,000 and the credit report says it's only $25 a month, then we can actually use that. So it's yeah.
Is that because they were actually still making payments during deferment, or where did that $25 come from?
If it's their income adjusted payment, if that's whatever their student loan, whatever they worked out.
Okay.
If that's what it says.
Wow. Now, typically, I guess, you know, people ask us too all the time, you know, what's the best time of year to buy a home, or to sell a home? And same thing, what's the best time of year to buy a home? Does that matter with,
Not for me.
you know,
Mm-mm.
with things? So,
I think it's ultimately seasonal. I think, you know, we see more buyers typically in the summer months because people want to make sure the kids are all settled before school starts. That wasn't so true this year. And we are seeing, you know, the number of homes being sold go up slightly from where it was over the summer. So which plays into what you just said in terms of you got a little busier.
Right, and even
recently.
before COVID, December was usually a dead month for us because nobody wants to move a Christmas tree. You've got all these plans, you know, you've got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's right there together. So
Right.
normally, typically those were slow. The past 2 years, they have not been. I guess it's people working from home and they don't feel as tied to things as they were before.
Very interesting.
I don't think that we're going to see that this year.
I don't think so either.
So what do you think you're going to see this year?
I think it's going to slow down again over the holidays.
I think it will too.
You do?
Well, kids are back in school. And the rates, you know, the rates are going up just a little bit, so people are a little scared. And I think people feel like life is starting to settle again. So,
And does that change a couple times a day, the raise? Like, how often does it change?
they can. In a volatile market, they do. Since they started going up, sometimes, you know, they'll close our lock desk and they'll say we're repricing it. It's because the investors will come back out. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. There for a while, we were really stable and we'd just get the rates in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, we are seeing changes throughout the day.
Wow. So you not only just work with realtors, I mean, you can help people refinance their home and stuff, right? So, I mean, that's great. I mean, they just get a hold of you and say, you know, I'm not looking to move, but I do want to refinance, and then you do the work for that.
And what
Right.
we're seeing with the refinance market right now is cash out. People are getting cash out because they bought these homes. They were, you know, they spent $100,000 more than, you know, what it was worth.
Right.
But then the rest of the values went up. And yes, they have that 2%, but maybe they want to finish their basement. Well, not 2%, but that's what we're seeing is the people that didn't move and didn't get the 2% that are refinancing are trying to get equity out of it
Okay.
so they can do whatever they want to with it.
Wow. How long can somebody wait? Like, if they bought a home right now at whatever the rate is, 6 or whatever it is today, right? And if they wanted to refinance later on if it goes down, how long?
6 months.
Oh, 6 months before
Yeah.
penalty? Okay. If they jumped the gun and wanted to do it sooner than that, what kind of penalty is that? Does it differ?
It will depend on the lender, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most lenders will probably say no, right?
Right, they'll say, you know, you haven't been in this house. And what you don't see is that 1 year history of payment. Especially
Okay.
if it's like a first time home buyer. You've only got 6 months on there.
Okay. Now, and you can help anybody out. So if somebody from like Alaska calls you, Seattle, no, not Alaska.
I can't do Alaska.
Whoops, sorry. But
yeah.
Seattle, like, I mean.
We're pretty much East Coast. We do California, and we are licensed in Texas.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's good.
But we're not licensed in Alabama.
Okay. Okay, good. And I mean, that's
You
all they
jumped
gotta do
over
is
Alabama to go to Texas?
I guess there's a bigger need. Actually, we weren't getting a lot of business from Alabama, and it costs a lot of money to set up a mortgage because you have to have a license and you know, you're insured and you're bonded, and
Okay.
so for the whole company to do it for one loan officer is not really worth it.
Wow. And I
I
guess
can try that.
does it vary like per person, per situation on, you know, how quickly somebody can refinance their property and stuff? I mean,
It's 6 months.
it's 6 months, okay, to do that. No, I mean, like the whole process from start to finish is 6 months? Am I saying that wrong?
You need to be closed 6 months.
Okay.
We're gonna run out of time.
We're gonna run out of time. All right, those were the questions here. Now, like, it says, here's a joke for you guys. Kate doesn't have a joke. I have an old joke that I remember.
We'll go for it.
Okay, you probably know the answer to it, but let's see if Shelly knows the answer.
Here we go.
Or Kevin knows the answer. All right, since it's almost fall, what did one leaf say to the other leaf?
Oh, jeez. I'm falling for you.
Bill, you already knew the answer.
He's so smart.
Nice.
Bill's right because, well, he already knew the answer.
Just made sense. I think I got it right the first time too.
You think you got it right the first time? Gosh. And so we're unable to play Heads Up because
Yeah, we're out of time anyway.
we're out of time anyway. Okay, but
Go through the fun fact and
I know. Sorry, y'all. Mishaps happen, and it happens. So, fun fact: September's full moon. The harvest moon reaches peak illumination on Saturday, September 10th at 5:58 a.m. So, if you're still up from the night before on Friday, will we be? We could watch it, or you can wake up real early.
And bow season starts Saturday too.
Who season?
Bow season.
Hunting.
Oh, bow season.
Yeah.
They call it bow.
Bow season.
Oh, with a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
bow and arrow.
Oh,
as
is that
opposed
how
to
you
gun.
hunt?
No, no.
Oh,
It's just stating a fun fact.
oh,
Yeah. No, I wait until the 3rd week of October for rifle.
oh, rifle. So there's bow season, right? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, that's it for tonight. So for those of you watching, I want you to like this page, leave a comment, go to thehafergroup.com, sign up for the Hafer Group's awesome weekly newsletter that we make where you can keep up with the market and other fun stuff. We throw in live cams, song of the week, make it fun. You know, it goes out every Wednesday morning via email. So check it out. And thank you again, Shelly from First Preference Mortgage for coming on our show and talk about what's going on in the lending world these days. I mean, it's
And if they
always,
have any questions, they can always send them through your site and you can get them to me.
you can do that too as well. Awesome, yes. And you can reach out to Shelly, 404-386-6464. And her email address, once again, is smith@1stpref, P-R-E-F, like Frank.com. All right? And also, don't forget, we'll be having our 100th episode coming up shortly. That'll be Thursday, October 6th. So everybody that we've invited, you know, to be our guest, they're going to be invited to come here, see who shows up, whatever. We'll have, you know, barbecue and drinks and stuff like that.
Free food!
Free food, free drinks,
Not
yes.
for us.
Is that open to all alumni?
Anybody who wants to go.
Absolutely.
Anybody who wants to
You
go.
said barbecue, Kevin. said
yeah. Got my attention.
Barbecue, definitely. And we'll be back next week with Ask Bill and Kate, Thursday nights at 8 next week. You can call or text anytime, 678-628-KATE, with all your real estate needs. I think I got everything. And
All right.
okay.
All right.
All
night,
right.
everybody.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace. There it is.